What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf. Today we're going to cover a whole lot, including the Kremlin, and we've got some exciting photos to show you. So stick around. We'll be right back right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right. What is going on, guys? It is Adam aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we are taking calls at 224-400 Marf. We're going to be covering a whole wide range of topics today. So remember, to get in now, you would need to call in 224-400 Marf. That number is going to be scrolling down on the bottom. If you're new here, we try to back up everything we say, including our photos and videos. Again, if you go to marfooglenews.com, it's very easy to navigate. You can actually go to this thumbnail, of course, showing the gremlin eclipsing the oogle sign there. And then when you click on that, you will see that it actually has all of the links that we have here today. So we try to back up every single source so you know exactly where it is coming from. On top of that, we actually have music. On top of that, we actually have the web-only content at the bottom. So there's a lot of content there that we cannot cover here. It's basically too hot for TV. That has some exciting stuff. So we'll talk about that at the end of the show. If you want to support our little show, you can on the right side. Our sponsors and affiliates are over there. Again, that is how we support ourselves. We do not have a multi-channel network. You are our backbone. So thank you, everybody that has supported us up until now. Thank you for everybody that has helped, volunteered, just anything to get us to where we are at now. Again, thank you, and thank you. Let's introduce Dex. Dex is going to be on the phones tonight. He is also going to be my co-host and internet brother. Dex, how are you doing tonight, and what is going on?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, so we'll get straight into it. Just a reminder, though, if you're not getting notifications, make sure to go and get ours. And if you haven't already, make sure to go check out NordVPN. Today's show is brought to you by them. marfooglenews.com/VPN. Use the special code Marfoogle. All right, and then Senate preparing $10 billion bailout fund for Jeff Bezos. Dex, before you get into phones, again, this is something that we've been talking about. So Bezos and, of course, Elon Musk are kind of in this battle because they're both doing space-related, they're in this kind of space race. They've even had some exchanges where they've, Elon has taken jabs at Bezos, basically telling him that he can't get it up, his rocket, into space. What do you think about this as far as Bezos probably having a failure here?
Well, it certainly has been, in the sense that Elon has been awarded all of the contracts and Bezos has gotten none of them. So it sounds to me like the Senate's sort of throwing him a bone, saying they're talking about how do they create, a couple of projects worth $10 billion that they can actually send towards him.
So they're basically trying to... he didn't get picked in dodgeball, and they're saying, okay, well, now we feel bad. It says that now that Jeff Bezos' spaceflight company Blue Origin has lost a multi-billion-dollar contract to Elon Musk's SpaceX, Congress is preparing for the ground for Bezos to win a contract anyway, ordering NASA to make not one, but 2 awards. The order would come through the Endless Frontier Act, a bill to beef up resources for science and technology research that's being debated on the Senate floor this week, and an amendment basically added to that legislation by Senator Maria Cantwell to hand over $10 billion to NASA, money that will likely go to Blue Origin, a company that's headquartered in Cantwell's home state. So you can see how that would work there. So again, this is a kind of a bailout for the elites. Even if they don't win, they win. So what do you think about it? Tell me in the comments down below. And then, of course, we've talked about UFOs this week. We are less than a month away from the major, massive report that everybody is looking forward to going to Congress as part of the CV bill and the relief bill. They were basically given 180 days to come out and tell all about all of these unidentified flying objects flying around. There's a lot of serious stuff going on, and that's kind of the way that they were coming at this, basically saying, you need to tell us what is going on with these UFOs because they're flying by our nuclear plants. They're flying over our bases. They're flying over, the White House, and we still don't know what they are, and you don't know what they are. So you need to tell us what the heck is going on. And of course, this is actually part of this. It says UFOs pose threat to U.S. by flying near nuclear facilities, claims TV host. Now, we have seen tons of pictures and tons of videos, and they're always either around nuclear ships out in the water, Navy ships, or they are on top of the plants. You guys have sent pictures, in fact, even from my local state. We had pictures from my Hanford site, and there's all these sightings around Hanford for whatever reason. In fact, if you go to the the national reporting thing, the National UFO Reporting Site, which is based here in Washington, it has kind of a graph or a chart of all of the reports that come in, and a lot of them are right near these nuclear sites. It says the news comes as the U.S. Department of Defense prepares to release a much-anticipated report that will feature all of the information the Pentagon possesses about unidentified aerial phenomena, including U.S. military encounters with the mysterious objects. Sightings of UFOs should be taken seriously as the unidentified objects could pose a threat to U.S. national security, said Fox News anchor Abby Hornacek. It says she was commenting on a video released by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell that shows a spherical-shaped UFO plunging into the ocean off the coast of San Diego. It says the mysterious object was filmed by a U.S. serviceman on board the USS Omaha. The Pentagon later confirmed the authenticity of the video. The TV host said that UFOs have been spotted flying in the United States, including near military bases and nuclear plants. So we have covered this. In fact, we covered this before it was popular. There was 3 years of it, and a lot of YouTube creators had a lot of videos and a lot of stuff coming in of these craft or these objects above nuclear plants. One theory, and I'm just saying that this is a theory that people have, is that UFOs are coming down or some sort of entity is coming down because they're watching us progress as a civilization. Again, this is just what some people think, that they are there to somehow, some think they're there to protect us. Some say that they're waiting for us to launch and they're going to save us. Some say that they are waiting for us to get to a certain, time or certain technology level so they can come down and introduce themselves and shake our hands and say, hey, you've reached a type 1 civilization and, welcome to the club. What do you think? Honestly, I want to do a poll on this because I know that a lot of you, a lot of my audience feels that they are fallen angels. If that's so, then why are they so drawn to the nuclear power? Some of the theories that have come out after the Pentagon confirmed these Navy videos have been pretty fascinating because in those videos and all of these statements say that these things pop into existence and out of existence just like that. They show up on infrared, they show up on radar, they are going speeds without making a sound. Again, I understand that a lot of you are fresh off of the Thunderfoot video, apparently debunking the Navy videos. But again, if that's true, then it would be quite weird. Somebody came, I think it was Fran Branch, came out with her theory, and her theory was that it's like a flatland theory, where we're in a 3-dimensional space and these things are 5-dimensional, and they're basically popping in. And from what we see in our limited kind of, in our limited space is just them popping in, or possibly we're seeing a wormhole with them on the other side. So we couldn't even crash into these things, even if you did head right into it. So it's not actually even there. It's just us seeing what's there on the other side. There's a lot of fascinating things. We're going to find that, this report is probably not going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be. A lot of people think it's going to be debunked, redacted, heavily redacted to the point where you don't know, it doesn't show anything. But again, this is supposed to be declassified. So we'll see what happens. As far as these videos of the stuff going in the water, why are they all coming out now? And why is the government telling us this? That is what is more concerning to most of my audience. I get messages every day saying that they're getting ready to do some sort of huge disclosure or fake disclosure where they come out and say that there's something there. And then we all fall in line and, toe the line that they want us to because we're afraid of some greater threat to Earth. Do they have technology to put a hologram up and make us think that there's, Independence Day happening right in front of us? Who knows? What do you guys think? I'll go over to the chat right now, and it looks like there's a lot of you are already in there. Says they are you. Jaina Demons believes they're demons. Let's see. Doll Boop says Ascension. What's Sue Clark says they're drones. Jen Boyles says more fear. Let's see here. Bryce Beasley, what's going on? Flyboy. Cheryl Carroll is here. They are not fallen angels. They are like drivers on the road. Some good, some bad. Sherry Carroll, that's an interesting one. Actually, I don't think I've seen that comment before. My dog is an alien, says one viewer there. Crypto Craig. We've got Nightbot 2.0. Yabba Dabba, where are you? Let's see. Get off my lawn, says Talon Morrison. Roaming Wolf. Could it be interdimensionals? Well, I don't think our brain would be able to handle it. Anybody that has sat there with, whether it be in school or with their friends or on a trip, talking about, how the planet started. Most religions have their different views, of course, going back. But it's pretty mind-boggling. If you do believe in the Big Bang, what was before the Big Bang? It's if you believe in creationism in any of them, it's still pretty boggling to even think about. And I don't think our brains are even advanced enough for it. If you think about it, in our lifetime, we've seen all this advancement, but just 100 years ago, 150 years ago, we were just getting electricity. We were just starting all of these things. We didn't have cars. We didn't have planes. We didn't have computers. We didn't have TVs. We didn't have radios. We didn't have any of that. So we are in a really weird time. We're going to see a whole lot of change in a short amount of time. The story that we covered yesterday talks about how we are possibly going to see 150 years old in this generation, or could if we do things right. Really weird stuff. And then, of course, we have GM's newest vehicle, off-road self-driving rover for the moon. It says the illustration provided by General Motors and Lockheed Martin in May 2021 depicts astronauts and concepts of lunar rovers on the surface of the moon. On Wednesday, May 26, 2021, Lockheed and GM announced that they would be combining their technological and manufacturing expertise to build the electric vehicles for NASA's Artemis program, named after the twin sister of Apollo in Greek mythology. If any of you guys want to look down that rabbit hole and see why they're naming all of that and see what they mean, there's a lot of weird hidden meanings in NASA's stuff, especially like the caller a couple weeks ago that showed us the patches for all of the different missions. Like the weird psychedelic drug trip patches for what was that mission? It was like Apollo 10 or something, or Apollo 16 or something. It says the project announced Wednesday is still in the early stages and has yet to score any NASA money, but the goal is to design light yet rugged vehicles that will travel further and faster than the lunar rovers that carried NASA's Apollo astronauts in the early 1970s, the company said. I guess the one thing that I'm trying to think of is when are we actually going to see tourism to space? I know that a lot of you in my audience, or a good chunk of you, don't believe space is real or have your own theories about everything here. Some of you don't even like hearing about NASA, yet you still watch. if that comes, and if we do all end up seeing space in our lifetime as tourists, if we just put that to sleep, if there was no debate whether there's space or not, and that is a debate now, then, you know, what is the moon's part in all of this? Why all of a sudden do they want to get to the moon? If you're newer here, I have one theory. There's been telescopes looking up for a very long time. There's been telescopes all around the world looking up, and there have been many weird things that have happened. Now, we have talked to somebody who we vetted, who actually does kind of the, I guess, the auditing of different funding, and they said that there was funding for debris cleanup from space, and the amount of money was something that was bigger than any amount of money they've ever seen. So, and again, that was also involved in that was a Class 2 gas giant was involved in that. So that only kind of confirmed what I have thought over the last few years. They made Space Force. They have basically pushed all of these missions trying to destroy asteroids. They've done tons of simulations. And why do they do simulations? Why do they do war games? Why does the military do war games? Because they are practicing for a realistic scenario or a future scenario or something that could be happening in the near future. They keep doing these drills like we're going to get hit with something. Now, whether it's an asteroid or it's the Truman Show and somebody's just throwing a rock down for whatever purpose they want, I still think that something it could be heading our way. Now, would they tell us? Would they tell us if something was going to hit Earth? Would they tell us they found something, but it's 6 years away and it's not going to hit us until, 2029 or 2036? Would they tell us even now? Probably not. Look at what happens when we have a court verdict in the country. Look what happens when, somebody goes not guilty. Think about if they told the world that the world was possibly going to end and we have no technology yet to actually stop it, which they just told us. There's no technology that could stop an asteroid. Some think that we're going through a field. Some think that the sun has something to do with it. Some believe that we have imminent pole shift that is going to happen, which if you haven't been following that, the poles have been moving like crazy, and some think that it's right about to flip. And what effects will that have? We don't know. We haven't had modern civilization for a pole shift or a pole flip. Pretty crazy stuff. So now they're designing all of these vehicles for, the moon, Mars. We'll see. They also say that they will have a space hotel by like 2026 or 2025 if the Earth is still here. This is a artist render of the Lockheed Martin electric vehicle. It almost looks like a camper on a ATV. And supposedly this is going to be, Steve and Sue here on the moon looking at Earth. What do you think? Let me know in the chat below. And then we're going to go to the next caller here in just a second. We have a mystery as an anchor-shaped UFO leaves a trail of smoke before crashing into the sea off of Indonesia. Even more stuff coming into our atmosphere, of course. Dex, do we have a caller lined up? I actually don't have the thing open here. Let me pop it open. And then looks like you are screening, and we have...
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
That's okay. Yep. Okay, so looks like Steven is screening. By the way, Christopher M., thank you so much for your support over on PayPal. A thought on UFO disclosure in CV bill last year before the E-LEC, Sean, a caller said that the Democrats and globalists would have power for about 9 months and go away, and craft was supposed to land mid-2021. Could it be? That's weird. So basically saying that there was some sort of prediction there. Franny Cascadia, thank you so much for your support over on PayPal as well. Eclipse View and Time in Seattle. So it looks like you actually sent something. So I will try to, if that is a picture, I will pop it open. And then Kimberly W., glad to find a Pacific Northwest broadcaster producing quality, well-researched content and presenting it honestly. Well, thank you, Kimberly W., and thank you. And if we do meet up locally, I hope you come. Caitlin P. says, I think in June, July is when things are going to go south. Our belief system and market system is going to change in some way, and it's going to be hard to adjust to. That was Caitlin P. Love your guts. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Caitlin P. I appreciate that. Amazing Giants says, you guys rock, and music is a great way to get out some truth. Excited to hear more. Blue Homemade Heaven, thank you as well for going over. And then Kara Foos, let's see here, says, did a $5 PayPal and says, put towards Bitcoin or Ethereum here on PayPal. Again, I think that's I don't know about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I know that Dex does, so I'll let him do that. Antoinette, Madam Antebellum says, love you, Adam, Miss Marf, and kiddos. Dex, Mods, and Marfoogle family. Off next week. I will be celebrating live with you. Well, thank you, and thank you. I really do appreciate you guys doing that. It does help us a lot. All right. When you get that caller ready, just let me know. I'm going to go over to the next article here, and thank you, everybody. It looks like about 2,500 over on YouTube. If you guys are looking into protecting yourself against EMPs or CMEs, don't look any farther than EMP Shield. I highly recommend it. Again, we are going to show you some stuff in the coming months that will, honestly, you will understand why we are telling you that this is a good idea. Again, EMP Shield is a company that is actually contracted with agencies like DOD, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and of course on the DEMSO team protecting the Texas grid. If you want to protect your house or either your car or your solar system against an actual electromagnetic pulse, then this would be the way to go. It does protect against all three phases, E1, E2, and E3, and it's 100% American-made, veteran-owned business. marfooglenews.com/EMP. All right, and then we have mystery as anchor-shaped UFO leaves a trail of smoke before crashing into the sea off of Indonesia. It says, this is the mysterious moment an anchor-shaped UFO left a trail of smoke in the sky before crashing into the sea in Indonesia. The bizarre footage of the long black object plunging into the water was filmed at a Jakar beach in East Java, with some people claiming it was a damaged UFO. The spooky object was swallowed by the waves shortly after crashing into the sea. Facebook user Kai Popeye Watermelon shared the clip and asked netizens, what is this anchor-like thing that fell from the sky? Gabriel Natangoro says maybe it was a fairy who lost her wings and forgot her way home. LOL. YouTube user Roy Valen commented mysterious. Emmanuel Snuggling Monpungi from Indonesia's government space agency said it was aware of the footage and a team had been sent to the location. So they actually responded to this and sent their space agency. It comes after an ex-astronaut weighed on footage of mysterious UFO sightings released by the U.S. Navy. Former International Space Station Commander Chris Hadfield, sounds like it's straight out of Resident Evil, claimed that the unidentified phenomena are not the work of aliens, adding that if you think they are, you are an idiot. It says, obviously, Foolish said, this is the same guy, Hadfield. Obviously, I've seen countless things in the sky that I don't understand, Hadfield told, but to see something in the sky that you don't understand and then immediately conclude it's intelligent life from another solar system is the height of foolishness and lack of logic. In the last 3 years, the Pentagon has taken unprecedented steps of releasing 3 stunning UFO videos filmed by the U.S. Navy. Again, I highly recommend going over to Thunderfoot's video. I would love for somebody to debunk his video. His video goes over the 3 tic-tac shape items in the rotating craft and the actual Navy released footage. And some think that he is right. It's basically saying that the jet is, 30,000 feet up in the sky. locked in on a bird that they did for fun, and the parallax effect makes it look like it's going much faster. I would love somebody to debunk his video, because his video does make sense as far as I understand telephoto lenses. And if you're looking at a tack, 60 feet away, and if you move, the background's going to move much, much faster. It does make sense what he's saying. But why, is this set up? Did they release those videos so then when all of this goes down, they release the Congress stuff, and the Congress stuff says basically this is a parallax effect. All of these have simple explanations. UFOs aren't real, or they're Russia, or they're China, or it's a reason for us to go to conflict. Why was it put in the CV bill? Why specifically when we were going through this, horrible event, right? Did they specifically ask for that to be revealed? Then it gets revealed and say, oh, it's not UFOs. Say it's China or Russia. And they say these guys are flying all over our stuff. That's an act of conflict. We need to go and, act on it. That's another theory too. I don't understand it, why that was in there out of all the things. They say it's because these certain people in the government have been trying to push on it, and it was the perfect timing. But I don't know. It's definitely weird. Make sure to call 2244-00-MARF. Again, that's 2244-006273. Again, 2244-00-MARF. Let's see here. And then we have Super Flower Blood Moon dazzles the early morning, which I did not get. I tried to go out last night. I actually did get up, and it was so cloudy I could not see it. So if you guys did get pictures, make sure to send them in. I will gladly show them on the show. It says that the early morning skies around the world, as it appears 30% brighter and 14% bigger than normal, and it will still be visible into this evening. So they're actually saying that it's still hanging around. Astronomers and photographers around the world have shared stunning images of the unusually bright and large moon set against a backdrop of natural landmarks. We have several pictures here to show you, some pretty insane ones, actually. What's funny is this is actually kind of the same effect that Thunderfoot talks about with the why it looks so large. It's compression. This looks like something total. I mean, this looks fake. But again, that's a telephoto lens focused on that boat, which compresses the background. That's probably just an absurd lens. That is super freaking cool. This is a real photo. So this is not photoshopped. This is the moon coming up over a mountain. I can't believe it was cloudy last night. Like, this makes me so mad I missed this. This looks unreal. Does that not look just the trippiest thing you've ever seen? Whoa! Cynthia Lynn! Cynthia Lynn just dropped a ninjet on DLive. Says, love the Foogle fam. Thanks, Adam and Dex and Mrs. and Mods. Cynthia Lynn, thank you so much. If you guys don't know, ninjet is the highest compliment you can bestow on somebody on DLive. It's like 10,000 lemons. So thank you, and thank you, Cynthia Lynn. Thank you for supporting independent. Again, you guys know. Kahaja Flygirl says, look up in the sky, a ninjet. Thanks, Cynthia Lynn. That's awesome. Texas Rob 49, equally thank you. Stopping by to say hi at work. Much love, Foogles. That's all right. I hope you guys watch the replay. Again, I think that there's some great stuff here. Now, this, I can't even explain that. Like, even with compression, I don't know how this was so big. This is like utter insanity. This was behind, obviously, some of the Roman ruins. I mean, this would have been worth traveling to somewhere like this for. I can't believe it was so cloudy that I couldn't see it. And then look at that. I'm so mad I missed this. I really did. I mean, like I did not get sleep last night. So if I'm, screwing up my stuff, I really stayed up and I tried to get this, and I even drove to try to get this, and there was just clouds covering everywhere I looked. It's like I'm so done with Seattle's weather. It just sucks. You never know, like when there's something like this, like 3 or 4 times this year, there have been just extreme astronomical events, and I've missed them. It really sucks, especially when you go out of your way to actually try to catch them. Cat24, Chafee, Bear Claws, Scooby Doo Right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you everybody that has joined us tonight. If you want to call in, the number is 224-400-MARF. I appreciate everybody that is already calling in. Again, thank you. And then we have Russia raises heat on Twitter, Google, and Facebook in online crackdown. It says that Russia is increasingly pressuring Google, Twitter, and Facebook to fall in line with the Kremlin internet crackdown orders or risk restrictions inside the country, as more governments around the world challenge the company's principles of online freedom. Russia's internet regulator Roskomnadzor recently ramped up its demands for the Silicon Valley companies to remove online content that it deems illegal or restore pro-Kremlin material that had been blocked. The warnings have come in at least weekly since services from Facebook, Twitter, and Google were used as tools for anti-Kremlin protests. Now, if you remember the gentleman that they were holding, Dex, are you there? Now, again, if the calling system is messed up, don't worry about it. Again, Captain Phil, it looks like, is in there. It's fine if you can't get them on. And then I would like you to hop in here if you can.
Hey, Adam. Yeah, I was just trying to get the phones working, but go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, I know. I can see. Yesterday we were like 45 minutes late because of the capture card, and then tonight we've got phone issues, so that always screws up. You guys don't see it, but basically on my end there's a ton of crap going down, and it's like the phone systems are messed up. Thank you, Dex. I appreciate you and all the work you do. If you're new here, this isn't usually. It's a lot smoother than this usually, but sorry. As far as Russia's internet regulator and this story here, now their prisoner that was anti-Kremlin, they're basically saying that so this is what bothers me about Google, right? They're working with China and they're working with Russia. They're working with our adversaries, and they're also designing things to go under their rules. How would you work with a country that has the opposite values of, say, the U.S., that censors and just puts people down? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah. So, this is an interesting, struggle in the sense that we've got, Russia, who has really isolated themselves in one hand by saying, hey, we've disconnected our internet, or we've made it so that we can, and they've done it from a defensive purpose, right? To also the fact that they, but what they're not saying is, we can actually monitor and control our internet. But they're trying to say that they're free, which is the exact same thing that China does, right? China completely controls and monitors their internet. They just call it something different. So over there, they admit it, and in Russia, they don't. And then they turn around and now they're saying, hey, we demand that, these other entities, these other major players, Facebook, Twitter, and others, do certain things, or if they don't and they're not doing what we want them to do, then we're going to take them off of our network.
And basically they're saying anything that's anti-Kremlin goes against, that's illegal there. So you can't talk smack about Putin. You can't say, let's get rid of Putin, let's replace him, any of this. Basically all the people that are revolting against this leader who has made himself leader for all of these years, saying that they won't. But I don't get why... it's crazy that Google's there in the first place. I'm just surprised. Like, Google is everywhere. And they work with all kinds of governments, including those that do horrible things. I can't believe that they have basically designed one for China. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It says in Myanmar, Poland, Turkey, and elsewhere, leaders are also tightening internet controls. In Belarus, President Alexander G. Lukashenko this week signed a law banning live streams from unauthorized protests. What's so funny is that this is something that's happening here. If you guys know, during some of the first 3-letter agency protests that were downtown, and it's not an agency, it's a group that took down statues and all that. That 3-letter agency powered by another 3-letter agency, they were doing their stuff. I was downtown. Nobody could stream from downtown on any of the platforms. A couple people said, yes, they were streaming on Twitch, but they couldn't stream on some of the major platforms. And then now even platforms like DLive on the 6th, that event was streamed, and now everybody got in trouble for streaming that event. The thing that I don't get is, how are they, now they're deciding that, major group events where people are getting up and, upheavals, if you can't live stream that in a world that we have now, which is dependent on, kind of the people now. Live streaming is a part of communication now. It's part of everything. Live streaming and independent creators, it's now part of our entertainment system. It's part of our news system. It's a part of everything. And I think this is partly backed by all of these old school avenues of entertainment. The regular news knows that people are not going to, CNN or MSNBC or Fox or any of these places. They're going online. They're going to small creators like me and like High Impact and like some of the other guys, right? So, and then they also don't want something that they can't control going out. This is in Russia, but guess what? I see a lot of similarities between these countries and my country. It's kind of crazy. It says all of these policies will have the effect of creating a fractured internet where people have different access to different content. This is exactly why we tell people to get NordVPN. Again, if you guys have not got a VPN, if it's not Nord, get one, because guess what? In the future, I think that a VPN will be necessary to even access stuff that you want to access. Stuff that you just take for granted right now, you won't even be able to access because the internet's going to be broken down into regions. We're talking about if you're in any other country but the U.S., all of the main big things that you're addicted to, your country could ban that. And then guess what? If you use your VPN, you can actually put yourself in a different country. What's even scarier, though, is if they separate completely. Russia has separated their internet to the point where if they need to, they can make it an intranet. They can cut out the rest of the world and still have theirs running. Before, it would have to go through different things for their internet to work. Now they don't have to do that. That was one of the signs to me that they were getting ready for a conflict, that they were getting ready for, war. That's my thought on it, but let me know yours. Ambionets13 says, oh man, I'm late. Hello, Foogle fam. Tonight is a super blood moon. Again, I hope there's still some of that left. Release a quack, and now we get clear skies now that it's already done and gone. Star Geezer, thank you for following. I love Dosh Hounds. Sure have missed the fam. It's nice to see you again. I see I love Beagles and everybody else, but I don't see you around too often, so thank you. Lisa K says, the only news I use. Toadman is here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Dennis Jenkins, thank you for following. Star Geezer, again, thank you for following. All the new followers over there, I really do appreciate that. Aaron Kunkel, thank you for subscribing on YouTube just now. I appreciate that. If you do subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Shout out to Brianna Christian, a new subscriber. Anna, Sherry Holmes, Tynes S just subscribed about 3 minutes ago. Valeska Bolick, thank you. And then Lola Calf A. All right, Dex.
And Adam, I was able to get one caller through at the moment, and I'm still working on the phones, but we do have Sarita Solo on the line if you want to talk to her. She's got actually some really urgent information that BP was putting out.
Okay, let's do it. All right, Sarita. Sarita, we can get you on here now. Sarita Solo. What a beautiful name if that's your name. Sarita Solo is calling from Florida, and it's a video about weather in the middle of the country, 100-mile-per-hour winds. Sarita, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Yep. Hang on one second, Adam. We're trying to get her on the line.
In the meantime, Samson's Animal House, thank you yesterday for your support. Thank you, everybody that popped over when the D-Live crapped out a couple days ago. You guys all went over to YouTube. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. And Dex, I also don't have access to the YouTube side of things in any form. So, super weird. So I'll probably need that in the screener. All right, I'm going to go over to the next one. When Sarita Solo, you can pop in when you figure out how to unmute. Again, you can pop in whenever you want. Not worth an iPhone's netizens mock Illinois' McDonald's locale over new hire incentive. At the onset of COVID, the U.S. economy took a massive hit and saw unemployment rates skyrocket as many businesses were forced to let staffers go. Figures recently released by the U.S. Congressional Research Service indicate the U.S. active workforce rate declined by 60% in April of 2020, a level not seen since the 1970s. A photo circulating across social media recently revealed that a McDonald's restaurant in Illinois is offering a free iPhone as an incentive for new hires, a move that has prompted netizens to lash out on the global economy. It says the promotional advertisement states that the new hires must be employed by the McDonald's franchise for a period at least 6 months, meet employment criteria in order to be eligible for the iPhone. Sorry, but, you know, I worked a year at Wendy's and a year at Jack in the Box, and both were just horrid. So not many of those people are actually going to get their iPhones. They're probably going to work for a month or two and then quit. If you notice, if you used to go to McDonald's or still do, you'll probably notice that the staff changes like every couple weeks. I don't know a single McDonald's that has, you know, the same people, you know, one by your house you've gone to for years. Do you ever see the same people? No, because people can't stay there for more than a couple months most of the time. Maybe the manager, but pretty much anybody else. That's really hard work. I give credit to any of you out there that are doing fast food. It really is. That should be tipping. If somebody buys a $2 burger, they should have to tip $1. That's my thought. And that's coming from somebody who did fast food, and it was horrid.
Okay.
Sarita Solo, you're live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, Moss.
Hey, sorry we're having problems here. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, Moss, how's it going?
It's good. Sarita Solo, make sure to listen to your phone and not to the TV. I can hear an echo back there.
It's just me. Tonight, BP Earthwatch had an urgent weather notice on, and I have kids and grandkids in Missouri and in Kansas, and I always pay attention to BP. And he has had some, just worrisome weather news. It's going to be 100-mile-an-hour wind starting tonight, and the weather's going to be bad all the way through Monday. It's in the middle of the country, and if everybody will go check that out, it'll well be worth your time, because the weather here in Pensacola has been being really weird and wicked. So I worry about everybody.
Well, Sarita, that's very sweet of you. And BP Earthwatch is actually, he's a mod in my channel. He hasn't stopped by lately, but he used to stop by all the time. Let me pull up his channel and let's make sure to shout him out and love mob him. I know that we've grown since the last time we did a love mob, so I have no problem doing that. Let's see here. And let's see. And it looks like you actually shared a link with us, so let me pull this up. And Sarita Solo, I think it's very sweet of you to call in to worry about others, and that's something that I really do appreciate in my audience. So it's nice to meet you too. And
I care about my family. I care about the Fugel family.
Well, Sarita Solo, they care about you too.
Because of you and Dex, I have food put up. I have water put up. I do a little bit because of hurricane season, but I'm ready. I was ready when we had our little episode last year, and you'll never know how much I appreciate it. I'm blind, so every little bit of help helps.
Well, again, thank you. And I don't know, are you completely blind or are you legally blind?
Yes, I'm legally completely blind.
Oh.
Light comes in, but it doesn't go out. The picture doesn't go out. I have a tumor in my visual cortex.
Well,
but I'm good with it.
No, my cousin is actually completely blind, and I understand the struggles they went through growing up, and it's very difficult. So it's really amazing, and I'm going to be praying for you to of course be safe through all these storms and things. Again, thank you for sharing the real BP Earthwatch. By the way, he's almost to 100,000 subscribers. If you guys can, just to let you know, just the people watching right now, if everybody went over there, and I know most of you are probably already subscribed, went over there, we could get him to 100,000, and that is actually a big landmark. He was already there. He was like 500,000, 600,000. He was a huge creator, and he got taken down around one of those times where you put little pieces of paper in a box and decide who does something. Yeah, pretty bad. So thank you for calling out BP. He's a really nice guy. He's a legend on YouTube. He's definitely one of the biggest YouTubers out there, even though his numbers don't reflect it anymore. They will again. So again, he's had to rebuild that from scratch. So a lot of respect for BP.
I know.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sarita Solo, and
you can listen to him.
Please let me know too, if you can. That we have a voice message system on our number. Let us know if there's something that can make it easier for the blind. I know the deaf say that it's hard to read lips because most of the time we turn on closed captioning now for almost all of our videos. We did that because people can't see my mouth and they read lips. So if there's anything that would help you, please let me know. And thank you, Sarita Solo, for calling in. Okay.
Thank you, Dex, Mod, family, all of us. God bless you and be safe.
All right, thank you. God bless you. That was Sarita Solo. This is the real BP Earthwatch. I hope that all of you go over and subscribe. We've actually, through our online forums, we have sent him, last I checked, it was like 14,000 people we've sent that have gone through our links. Something crazy. I think it was more than that. Again, so make sure to go check it out. Looks like over 100 of you already went, so that is awesome. All right, let's keep it rolling. The Big Oog strikes a deal with hospital chain to develop healthcare algorithms. Oh my gosh. Dex, if you want to pop in, this is like absolutely scary. It says data is spun off in real time from all patients, said Dr. Jonathan Perlin, Chief Medical Officer at HCA. Some of what we're building is the central nervous system, which helps interpret various signals. The deal expands Google's reach in healthcare, and the recent move to digital records has exploded data and created new markets for tech giants and startups. Data processing developed new treatments while improving patient safety. Algorithm development contracts between hospitals and tech companies also issue privacy warnings. It says the OOGS has previously reached a deal in other prominent U.S. hospital systems, including St. Louis-based Ascension, allowed access to personal patient information, got public scrutiny. Other tech giants have similar deals. Dr. Perlin said HCA patient records will be stripped of identification information before being shared with Google's data scientists. Do you see this? They are the papa of this this platform here. People need to wake up. Like this is like scary stuff.
Yeah, and this whole notion of algorithms in healthcare, it just really gets it's pretty scary, right? When you start to put these things together, especially when we know what they're doing with AI, right?
Yeah, AI and quantum computing. So
yeah, well, they can do so much even without quantum computing. So, like, we don't have to worry like, oh, it's nothing to worry about till 2029. No, it's not. You can, the amount of computing power we have today in the commercial center is very, very significant, even from an AI perspective. So, when they talk about building these algorithms for your healthcare, it's really enlightening, and we should be raising some eyebrows.
You know what they're most likely going to do? They're going to also use these algorithms to collect bills. I know that is changing as well. I know that, of course, there's millions of Americans with, unpaid medical bills. A lot of people don't, especially when they're younger. They'll do medical bills. They won't pay them because you can't actually build credit and still have huge medical bills, right? So people would just kind of brush it off, go to the ER and not. I know that in my early 20s, did not have insurance, did not have, I went to the ER several times. You'd go in for the ER and have, stomach pain and come out with a $10,000, $12,000 bill. It's like then you get collections calls. I bet you they're going to use this algorithm to also collect money as well. So we'll see what happens with that. I think people should be outspoken, writing their Congress. Like, I don't understand why more people don't do that. You need to write it and make it well known that you are against using something. We need to all stand up against monopolies, against, the world being controlled by corporations rather than, it's just nuts. Speaking of AI emotion detection software tested on the Uber. It says a camera system that uses AI and facial recognition intended to reveal states of emotion is being tested on the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, the BBC has been told. It says a software engineer claimed to have installed such system in police stations in the province. A human rights advocate who was sworn the evidence described it as shocking. The Chinese embassy in London has not responded directly to the claims, but says political and social rights in all ethnic groups are guaranteed. Xinjiang is home to 12 million ethnic minority Uyghurs, most of them whom are, says citizens who are in the province are under daily surveillance, and the area is also home to the highly controversial, quote, re-education centers. Camps called high-security detention camps by human rights groups, where it is estimated that more than 1 million people have been held. Remember, they're re-educating them to not be what they are, right? Beijing has always argued that surveillance is necessary in the region because it says that separatists who want to set up their own state have killed hundreds of people in T attacks. So this is their answer for T cells, right? I don't think there's the software engineer had agreed to talk to BBC's Panorama program under the condition of anonymity because he fears for his safety. The company he worked for is also not being revealed. But he showed Panorama 5 photographs of detainees, and he claimed that he had a motion recognition system tested on them. The Chinese government uses Uyghurs as test subjects for various experiments, just like rats are used in laboratories. I actually believe this, and I've talked to several people that have lived there, and they said that they were asked to do things that they said that they had to do. They could not turn down because they were afraid that they would not get home back to the United States. I have talked to people that have actually done some of these horrible things, and the person I talked to, who I've known my entire life, they started crying when they talked about what they were a part of. I won't even say it on air. So I do have some personal feelings for, towards this. So I guess I am biased. So I'm gonna let you guys go read the rest of this article on marfooglenews.com. Again, you can access all of these. I'm gonna try to stay as neutral as possible for all of my show. I really do. But there are some government, and it's not the people, it's the government. The government is in this country is just like, I don't understand it. And then we have companies that every single person supports that work with them, that do their bidding. I don't get that. Amy Stewart, thank you for subscribing. Aaron Kunkel, again, thank you, and thank you. And I have... Echo. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna go in and
you've got the things to announce. They're in the
no, thank you.
I've got another caller.
Let's get Captain Phil on. And sorry that you've had such a bad time in the background there. Liz LaMarche, thank you. Ghostly FPV, thank you.
Hey,
Shane Edwards, thank you. All right, what's going on, Captain Phil? What's happening?
Hey, Adam. Remember when I called in last time? I was talking about CMEs, and you read the report about that one supposed to come in at a level 1. Well, it actually came in at a level 3. Remember I told you how the media is telling you trying to keep you distracted and not look up. Well, actually, Earth has been taking several CMEs this year. I think we're at about 12. Don't have an exact count, but roughly about a dozen CMEs. Tonight, we are taking a CME right now, and the worst of it, or the strongest of it, started hitting about 2-3 hours ago. Right now, the northern states should be able to see the aurora borealis if they look north. It's right now, the worst of it is over the East Canada, and it is also causing the storms down in the lower states like Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. All that's going to take a superstorm. And I don't know if you got it, but I used the number that we call in, and I tried to send you a text a couple of days ago about a video of the U.S. government preparing for a super solar storm, knocking out the entire grid for months or years. And the more solar storms we get, the more the government's kind of getting nervous, because the Earth does take an extinction level event every 12,000 years. And guess what time it is? Right now,
about 12,000 years.
I've been studying. Yeah, and I've been studying astrophysics and geophysics for 31 years now. You can study different channels and keep an eye on the sciences on a daily basis if you wish. if you want up-to-the-minute reports for tonight's solar storm, which is also supposed to be backed up with a plasma in the CME, if you want up-to-the-minute reports, I would keep an eye with BP Earthwatch. Otherwise, if you want to stay with the top scientists in astrophysics, I would watch Suspicious Observers every morning. He'll be up before most people. I usually catch him at like 5, 6 in the morning. So, yeah, everybody should be getting a EMP shield for their house, their generator, their car, their RVs, everything. Get an EMP shield now, because it's only going to get worse. The suspected ELE that we are waiting for right now is a solar micronova. And you might find descriptions of it in your book of Revelations. So that's your astrophysics report for tonight.
Well, hey, thank you, Captain Phil, for the excellent broadcast there and great suggestions. I just pulled up Suspicious Observers and everybody else. Thank you, Captain Phil, for calling in tonight. That is much appreciated. Suspicious Observers is definitely a great channel to go check out if you have not already. Again, I do appreciate, Captain Phil, that you suggested all good people there. So thank you so much for calling in.
Mm-hmm. Have a good night.
All right, you too. That was Captain Phil. All right, and thank you. Thank you for everybody's patience tonight. You don't see it, and I know most people don't care. That's like somebody saying, they have, people, it's like somebody saying I have back pain and somebody else going, oh, I know, I totally understand. They might feel empathy for you, but they don't, it's not the same. Battleborn 1, we're just having so many issues behind the scenes here. Thank you, everybody that supports this channel. Thank you, everybody that's new that doesn't know that normally it's a little bit smoother than this. It is a live show, though. This is all done on the fly. We try to prepare as best we can. Battleborn, thank you for gifting out 5 Marfia badges to different users. Snapper, thank you for being here. Mursa, thank you for being here. Emanets, 1 on B. Island by the Sea, thank you. Scooter20, thank you for just following. Check Maybe, thank you. Big Doug, thank you for following. And 7 Ruby Rose. Bear Lover 92,000 says, yes, I saw colors last night around the super moon. I can't believe I missed it. That just sucks. WS Ween, thank you so much. El Luna 3377, thank you, and thank you. Over on YouTube, there are a few of you that I missed. Again, I could not have any connection with it. I don't know what was going on there. Jillian's Gems, thank you so much for your massive support of the show tonight, for your super sticker. And then Ghostly FPV, Friday show a go or no go. Got some cool pics with infrared. Love everyone, and thanks, family. Ghostly FPV, send them in. Either way, it will get in on the next one. When we don't get enough for an unidentified, it just piles up, and then we do them all. Shane Edwards, love the show. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Shane, and thank you for supporting independent. Again, we don't have a multi-channel network. We don't have a team. Again, it's us, it's our mods, and it's you. So, Liz Lamar says, evening fam, thanks Adam for the moon pics. I too missed it. Shout out to my DM walk-in. Thanks for keeping the products moving. Well, thank you, and thank you. Stewie1323, thank you for subscribing. Big Bennis, thank you again for subscribing. Looks like you popped over. Coffee Pot Mama, I appreciate you. Nice new subscriber there. Fortnite, thank you for joining. Amy Stewart, thank you for joining. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. All right. Dex, there is we've got some pretty big stuff coming this week. We also have an advancement. Yourself and I, we have a list of things that we, basically a to-do list. We are trying to get our community going. Do you want to give a small update? I know that we can't say everything about it on the new community.
Yeah, no, we're working on replacing a replacement for the community we had, where everyone in your local states can get together and find local like-minded folks and communicate and learn from one another around, things that are of interest to you when it relates to being prepared and preparedness and news and other topics.
So again, if you know the story of our Discord, you can look up many of the videos people did. I am still that. Don't worry. If you did a video for the Discord, we basically gathered all of those. We're gonna do a special project for everybody in the Foogle fam, especially for those of you who have tagged us in a video that say, "Hey, thanks Marfoogle," or any of that. Thanks Marfoogle News. Thanks Marfoogle family. Those are all gonna. We wanted to make like a really good edited video that highlights you guys and because you guys are amazing. We have an amazing community. This is a serious community, and it was way stronger when we had the Discord. Jstone78, Clan Mama, several mods put their whole lives into making that possible. We have a new community that is coming. We're also going to need a lot of help because we have to moderate it, and we have to make sure that it can run smoothly. We don't have, we've got to basically start over, and I think it's great. We had people in every single state preparing for disasters. We had people doing meetings. The biggest one was 150 people meeting in person, barbecuing, and it was under the channel, the Marfoogle name. It was amazing. It was all over the country. My days off were spent... which I met most of you, the ones I met on Zoom, was Zooming people and Zooming whole groups of people. They would sit around the computers and I would talk to everybody. They would switch off asking questions. Let people know in the chat how special that was. Let people know in the chat if you met me on one of my days off. It was really freaking amazing, and it sucks. They removed it because at the time they were removing all of this stuff, any stuff. It was right before everybody put their little pieces of paper that decided who was the boss. They were getting rid of anything that had big groups of certain people. Well, we had some of those certain people we had military. We had over 500 active military, and they didn't like military groups at that point. It was so stupid. Dex, the online content. Can you go over some of that?
Certainly, Adam. So we've got a lot of things in our web-only content. Really easy to get to. Just go to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail for this show, click on the thumbnail for another show, and you will find everything that we haven't been able to talk to you about. So we continue to cover that event that happened where we put the paper in a box and tally up who's who. That is still a topic of discussion, and lots of interesting things are going on there. Some other things going on with a lot of political leaders that are being talked about across the board on all sides of the aisle. You can catch a lot of that content there. So again, go to marfooglenews.com and click on the thumbnail for the show, scroll down and look for the section that says web only content.
And there's some great stuff there. You will be shocked. Again, William Shakespeare, great writer. Also the first person to get that. Man, just insane. Insane. A lot has changed, and let's mobilize. All right, thank you guys, everybody that supported tonight. I apologize if I missed anybody. We'll be shouting out a few people on. We'll be shouting out a few people on the next show. It looks like I did not. I don't know what happened with YouTube and my connection. But again, I will be saying thank you to everybody that supported today. on the next show. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to call in 224-400-MARF on the next show. I do appreciate you. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. It's now time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It looks like, by the way, I don't know why, we just got some in. Monograph Live says, buy a few cigars, smoke them wisely. Doc Bill says, just for the hell of it. Gone Girl PRS, thank you so much for your support, says, watch Daily Excellence with Mike from around the world. Title, Messages Hidden in Plain Sight. Love you all. Thank you, Gone Girl. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. Average Jeff Homesteader says, YouTube channel Average Jeff Homesteader says, please stock up on seeds and supplies now. Cheryl Nicholson, thank you for subscribing. Marf out.
I got the Cheryl Nicholson of it. Oh, bring it down, everybody. Dog Bill monograph. Live, so we on the 1323. Big Bennings in the coffee pot, Sudi. Hey, bring it like a Susie on the Juvie. I'm about to bring you a Juicy. 420, bring it on the dually. I'm now driving in the dually. In the dually. In the dually. In the dually. Get to go through me. With the Stewie, 1, 3, 2, 3, bring it to the big bullets in the 419, roll now, and then bring it down. Try to take it on the lookout. Going out, 777, rolling down, walking down, bring it down now, gonna go for it, I'm bringing it back down. Start cracking in the barrel of a 92,000 on the basket. We proud of the user in the channel. Barefoot last, everybody got flannel. Like they work at Target, gonna party. Now we are the dearly departed. Johnny Boom, everybody gon' fart it. More nice sticks gonna go be party. Hey, with the corner holler Johnny Doom, barrel claws, everybody 7 Roby rules new. Hey, with the V on fire, going back down, one Adam 12 on fire. Crop push up, crop on the duster. Carolina roots, everybody muster. Bring it back, everybody knows ya. Bring it EMPs, y'all style yo Lola. Ha, 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 ha. Hey people, you can take off your mask now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. I think it's funny that they go back do it. Bring it, everybody knows how we do it. Cabin flows on the flare and the CMU as US preparing for a cataclysm. It's super fast story that will take us down on the grid. Do what everybody knows at the end of it. Video, cause the farmer Dex for your support over on the PayPal election. With the Johnny Doom and the MS11022. Cynthia Lynn, thank you. Gone Girl 777 veteran Steve too. I've got the Kelly Hansen and the Lisa R. Hall, Rachel Brady and the everybody gonna go stand tall. Bear claws in the old white and the Jersey Mike's on me on the both lie. the sea walker dong on the world that I can't say. Mind over matters and I gotta caricate. Hey now with the Shastina, I bring it back now like Mr. Carey Lee Winner. We may be not Lee Winner, I mean Lee Werner. I did it like I'm a learner. I did it like Letitia Stahl. OG ruins and I'm always full. Three hookers in the mess, Jammer one and the GF channel and everybody done in the blowtorch Barbie geographically free. Christine K and Mrs. C. Hey now with the Caddy Henson, I bring it back down. Everybody getting a mention and hopefully we get the shout out. Doing with the two get the little teachers do now. Crab does it too, have a good night, monster. Got them on a rash and a goddamn popster. Hey now, yeah, can I have a popster? Maybe drink, maybe get it, maybe answer. I'm both a coffee bird claws and a romantic dog and a romantic wolf, yeah. Hey, everybody really wanna say Paul. Paul? Is that really your name? Hey, Lisa Hall and the Kit Kat. Everybody really wanna go pit pat. Hold the coffee chips, a paladin in the collie. A kiss her on the lever and the chandelier lace. Paul buried in it, everybody wanna face. Everything that's happening, where is that, okay? I hear latte.